something.
Before heading to work, Barry Allen stops in Central City to pick up a sandwich. He receives a call from Alfred notifying him of a task he needs to attend while he waits for the sandwich to be prepared. In order to save a hospital from sinking into a hole, Barry dons his Flash outfit and sprints down. The building partially collapses as he saves everyone on the ground floor, and numerous newborns from the maternity unit start to fall out of the window. Barry hurries to the top but runs out of energy since he hasn't eaten. To replenish his stamina, he breaks into a vending machine and eats food. This gives him enough strength to save every baby. Batman is pursuing several crooks in the area who are in possession of a dangerous virus. Batman chases the crooks down on his Batcycle and knocks them up before confronting the main one and ramming his car off a bridge. He grapples them to the bridge, and Wonder Woman uses her lasso to pull them up. Even if Flash arrives a little late, the other Justice League members recognize his contributions. When Barry arrives late at the research center, Patty Spivot and Albert Desmond are waiting for him, and their boss is berating him for being late once more. When speaking to the press, the leader also boasts about recent advancements at their place of business. Iris West, one of the reporters, knows Barry from college and wants to speak with him about the impending trial of Henry, Barry's father, who has been behind bars for more than 20 years after being falsely convicted of killing his wife Nora. Barry insists on his father's integrity. Barry later speaks with Henry on the phone to analyze security footage from the shop where Henry was when Nora died in order to confirm his alibi. Barry worries that the evidence will be accepted because Henry's face cannot be seen to verify that he is present. Then, Barry dons the Flash suit and dashes back to his childhood home. He remembers that day as a young child, when Henry was on his way to get the tomatoes Nora needs for dinner. Nora was holding a knife to her chest when Henry entered the kitchen after hearing her scream. As his father carried his mother's corpse in his arms, Barry could only gaze in horror. Barry then continues running so quickly that he soon begins to remember everything that happened throughout the day, including the necessity of saving the infants. He tells Bruce that he has come to the realization that he can run quickly enough to travel back at least a day in time. Bruce explains to Barry that sometimes people have to go through these painful experiences in order to become who they have to be when Barry suggests that he can travel further back in time to save both his mother and Bruce's parents. Iris arrives to speak with Barry about Henry's case after Bruce departs. Barry decides after some deliberation that there is a way to prevent Nora's passing. In order to prevent Nora from forgetting the can of tomatoes and to prevent Henry from having to leave the house, the plan is to travel back in time and place the can in Nora's shopping cart. When Barry reaches his 18th year of life, another villainous-looking speedster appears and knocks him out of his speed force, landing him back in front of his house. This effectively prevents Nora's death, enabling for a future where Barry still has both of his parents. When Barry enters the home, he is overcome with grief to see his mother living once again and to learn that Henry is not behind bars. He is shocked to find his 18-year-old self, let's call him Barry 2, approaching the house just as he is eating lunch with them. Barry 2 is apprehended by Barry, who then takes him to his chamber where he reveals his superpowers and the time period from which he came. The day Barry received his powers was September 29th, as Barry 2 goes on to reveal. Barry 2 will undergo the same bizarre event that granted Barry his powers when the two Barrys visit the research facility. Barry steps in front of Barry 2 as the lightning strikes, striking both of them just as Barry 2 starts to freak out. As the guards approach, they start to escape, but Barry notices that he is unable to phase or sprint quickly, indicating that he has lost his powers while Barry 2 has successfully obtained them. They go back to Barry 2's apartment, where he starts using his talents carelessly before the elder Barry has to convince him to be more responsible.
The following day, as Barry is giving Barry 2 his suit, they notice a large crowd gathered nearby watching television news about General Zod and his army of Kryptonians traveling to Earth in search of Barry, who they believe to be Superman. When they return to Barry 2's apartment, They discover that both Barry 2's housemates and Patty and Albert are in a relationship. When Barry tries to locate other Justice League members in this alternate reality, he discovers that Victor Stone hasn't yet evolved into Cyborg, Thomas Curry hasn't married Tatiana or given birth to Arthur, and Wonder Woman is also not a part of this universe. Barry sets out to discover Batman after hearing from everyone else that he really does exist. When the Barrys visit Wayne Manor to look for Bruce, they discover an elderly, untidy Bruce who is now living alone after the passing of his Alfred. Since Gotham City is now more secure than ever, he has become resentful and stepped down from his role as Batman. Bruce informs Barry that he accidentally opened up additional timelines in the multiverse after explaining himself and his alternative future. The Barrys snuck into the Batcave and started using Bruce's computer to conduct some research after Bruce also declined to assist them in finding Superman. After a while, Barry grows tired of the foolishness and immaturity of his younger self, but he is unable to bring himself to reveal the real reason he traveled through time in the first place. Bruce is persuaded to assist by Barry after speaking to him through the camera. Bruce dons the Batsuit once more and hands the Barrys a dossier containing information about a Kryptonian who is being held captive in a Siberian facility.
The group sneaks into the base by flying to Siberia on the Batwing. They discover a compartment with Kara Zor-El, Sasha Calle, a young Kryptonian lady, instead of Kal-El. The heroes manage to free her, but when the mercenaries discover them, Barry too is shot in the leg. Once they are in the open, the mercenaries corner Batman and the Barrys, but Kara is re-energized by the sun and starts to batter the mercenaries before passing out once more. Batman manages to help by utilizing an explosive charge. When the boys deliver Kara back to Wayne Manor, she reveals that she is Kal-El's cousin and that she was sent there to look out for him after Krypton was destroyed. She dons her Supergirl outfit and heads outside to engage in combat after learning that Zod is on Earth. Barry too tries to persuade Kara to help them save the planet, but she is wary of people because they imprisoned and experimented on her. Just before they execute a soldier for failing to bring Zod Kara, Kara spots Zod with his goon Feora when she flies out to get him. Before reinforcements come, she then sees the other Kryptonians massacre the troops. Then Barry asks Bruce for assistance in recreating the lightning storm to restore his abilities. They put up a machine to accomplish it, but after the initial bolt of lightning, Barry too instructs Bruce to switch it back on even though Barry seems injured. The machine's circuits eventually burn out, but Kara flies over and hoists Barry up above the clouds for a more powerful lightning strike that successfully restores his powers. The heroes then decide to confront Zod and defeat him. As he previously attempted, Zod is ready to terraform Earth using his world engine. As Kara and the two Barrys rush to battle the Kryptonians, they are both trying to devise clever ways to defeat unbeatable soldiers. While Batman flies overhead on the Batwing to offer help, Zod dispatches his brutish henchman Namek to present a greater challenge. When Zod is confronted, he claims that they have been after her instead of Kal-El all along because they need her blood for the Codex to reconstruct Krypton. Zod confirming Kal-El's demise prompts Supergirl to start battling the bad guy. She is overpowered by Zod and Feora, and Zod impales Kara to successfully draw blood. Batman also ends up making a sacrifice by crashing his jet into Zod's jet, but does not manage to destroy it. The Barrys rush back in time to help them since they are so distraught over losing their comrades. Kara nevertheless perishes, and Batman passes away following a struggle with Namek. Before they successfully blow up Namek and impale Feora with a piece of his armor, Barry laments the loss of Bruce. Then Barry too starts to run away, and Barry follows him. Because Kara and Bruce always die, and Zod always destroys Earth, they get trapped in their Speed Force. Barry gets more and more enraged as he tries to stop Barry too until they run across the villainous speedster who caused all of the trouble, who just so happens to be a much older Barry, the Dark Flash, who is still trying to fix things. Multiple worlds and timelines start to collide as a result, bringing with them many Flashes, an alternate Batman, an alternate Supergirl, Helen Slater, and numerous alternate Supermen, including none other than Nicolas Cage. Barry too delivers the fatal blow, eliminating Dark Flash and repairing the other universes as Dark Flash prepares to execute Barry for trying to go back in time and undo saving Nora. Barry starts to run backwards in time as he laments his younger self. Barry goes back to the store and gets ready to remove the tomato can from Nora's cart. Before starting to cry, he says to her in passing that this is the final time he will see his mother. As Nora comforts him, Barry pauses to give one final admiring glance at his mother before switching. After that, he goes back home to his timeline, but not before observing the store's surveillance camera. Barry arrives, late, for Henry's trial, where his attorney plays newly upgraded video that Barry moved the camera to capture better images of Henry. This effectively establishes his alibi and innocence, enabling him to be released. Barry and Iris decide to have dinner together after the trial. Just as he is pulling up to the courthouse, Bruce calls and congratulates him. Because Bruce is being portrayed by George Clooney, Barry is astonished to discover that this is not the same Bruce he is familiar with. Barry Allen has been working hard to uphold his duty as a member of the Justice League, but as his father Henry prepares to file an appeal after being wrongfully convicted of killing his wife Nora, Barry finds himself running quickly enough to travel back in time to correct a series of circumstances that occurred on the day of the murder. He is able to stop Nora from dying, but he also runs into a younger version of himself who is still in the process of becoming the Flash. Barry's powers are lost when he tries to duplicate the incident that gave them to Barry too, but they are gained by Barry. The two Barrys turn to the Bruce Wayne of this reality for assistance when General Zod and his army of Kryptonians show up in search of the man Barry believes to be Superman. However, this Bruce Wayne is older and has given up being Batman. After some persuasion, Bruce dons the cowl once more to assist the Barrys in locating a Kryptonian who has been imprisoned and who turns out to be Kara Zor-El, Kal-El's cousin who also escaped the destruction of Krypton. Kara returns after seeing Zod and Faora massacre mankind, despite her earlier reluctance to assist in saving humanity. She and Bruce assist them in recreating the lightning strike that restored Barry's abilities. Zod is fought by the heroes, but Kara and Bruce are killed. In every scenario when the Barrys travel back in time to save them, Batman and Supergirl perish. Barry too finally persists for so long that he transforms into Dark Flash, who is adamant about making things right so no one has to perish. When Barry too fires a fatal shot intended for Barry, Dark Flash is destroyed, and Barry knows he must go back and allow Nora to die. Before making the necessary corrections, he goes back in time and spends one more second with his mother. Back in the present, Barry aids in the discovery of video evidence that clears Henry, and he begins an affair with Iris West, a former classmate. The Bruce of this reality he encounters next is different from the one he is familiar with since George Clooney is present instead of Ben Affleck. Thanks for watching.